The sea is the bodily fluid of thought that defies definition. Its surface holds not waves, but undulating possibilities. Astral coordinates are the illusory pointers cast by the soul's shadow. They are north and south, up and down, invert within the concept itself, and the boundary between existence and non-existence melts together on the far side of light speed. The navigator carries no compass, calling the tremor of the heart their bearing. The moment that heartbeat resonates with the reverberations of stars, thought departs the body, and the meaning of the word place collapses into sound. The undetermined sea is the womb of thought, pregnant with every definition, yet fixed to nothing. The astral coordinates floating there are the 0 point of unobservable futures, the pulsation of possible worlds we have not yet breathed. If you stand there, even the act of standing will vanish as a self-negating wave operation. But in that instant of vanishing, you will understand being for the first time. In the undetermined sea, on nights when possibility fills the void instead of the tide, as an existence perpetually charting its course without fixed position, constellations always fail to define their own shape. Forgetting is an optical illusion trembling on the sea's surface. The past becomes grains of sand slipping through each other, holding our compass to our chest. The more we seek north, the more we lose our way. Astral coordinates cannot be measured on paper. Their being and not being coexist, existence trembling as overlapping probabilities. Yet it is within that trembling that the path is drawn. The lighthouse makes no promises. Occasional flashes are coincidental agreements. Navigators trust the map only in that instant. In the gap between belief and certainty, imagination draws a silver wake. When memory is sucked into the tidal currents, we gather fragments of small stars. The fragments belong to no one, yet become someone's coordinates. The salt lingering on fingertips will eventually point to a new direction. The sea denies nothing. It permits us to proceed while embracing uncertainty. And astral coordinates become a festival that refuses to decide. Within that refusal, we read our own position for the first time. Dawn always grants an ambiguous certainty. Beyond the undetermined sea, we fold up our small star charts once more, pretending to recall our destination as we set out walking. Is it a cradle of mercury or amniotic fluid woven by oblivion? Here, the boundary between self and other blurs and stills. Even time is no unidirectional arrow, but a wave of memory that ebbs and flows, where the residue of future and the buds of past drift equally. In this liquid chaos, to exist is synonymous with mere ubiquity. My consciousness is a single drop of ink cast into this amorphous sea. Its fate is to diffuse, dilute, and eventually return to the sea itself. Amidst that infinite diffusion, a sudden, piercing point of light drills into the soul's depths. A singularity akin to pain, yet sweet. That is the astral coordinate, not the physical X and Y. It is the differentiated spatial intuition of the lingering glow imprinted in the void by the gaze of one once loved. Or a chord without sound. A minute indentation left in the fabric of space-time by the mass of a lost dream. An immeasurable, yet undeniably present, north star of the spirit. The sea ceaselessly surges, attempting to dissolve this foreign object. Waves of probability wash over the coordinates. Foam of chance attempts to erode its contours. Yet the coordinates remain immovable. For they belong not to place, but to relationship. The singular inclination that the phenomenon called I holds toward this chaotic universe. That angle, that partiality, that vector of inexplicable persistence. Am I the observer, the sea, or the coordinate? Or am I the very threshold where both struggle? If I attempt to navigate by the coordinate, the sea dissolves my vessel. If I surrender to the sea, the coordinates mercilessly expose the uncertainty of my very existence. A desperate game and a sacred dilemma. This indeterminate sea is a prison called possibility, the dark horizon of an existential chaos. And the astral coordinates struck at its very center are both the curse and the blessing that make me me. It is not a destination. It exists solely to prove that I was once certainly here within this infinite wandering, a scar on the soul, a guidepost. The sea is the fluid of thought, mediating the collapse of self-identity. In its abyss, the memory of the word form sinks, and what rises as foam is an undefined light resembling the carcass of me. Astral coordinates are not spatial points, but crystallizations of ontological dislocation itself. They are equations measuring the soul's topology, phantom limbs of consciousness clinging to the illusion of location.